If you're like me and you're on a tight budget, finding the right astrophotography equipment is really, really expensive. Telescopes, they be $1,000. Some of them. The good looking camera with the best quality camera, thousands of dollars even. And if you're like me, you don't have a lot of moolah, but you really need where you want the equipment that you need for your astrophotography needs. Well, fear no more, as I have the top 5 accessories that are cheap, or if you're on a budget, for your astrophotography needs. I said that so many times. I'm tired. I did this 5 times. Please make this first telescope or first object on the list is a Orion Go Scope 11 70 millimeter refractor. Now, it's a pretty good telescope. It was my first telescope that I used. If you follow me on Instagram, you have probably seen it. It's sadly destroyed. RIP. But this is a really pretty good telescope. Well, good. But it's a pretty good telescope. Only for $76 on Amazon, which is not bad price. Issues with the telescope: very cheap tripod. Not only is it a cheap tripod, but also you can only see certain. I mean, you can only see the moon up close. But I mean, it's a pretty good telescope to look at the moon closely. Something to have a good beginner telescope. And a good cheap telescope, I recommend. Also comes with a cute little traveling bag that I think is pretty cool, even though I don't use it to travel with. So yeah. Number 2 is the Go Sky smartphone adapter mount regular size. That's what I'm reading from Amazon. Anyway, this is an attachment for your telescope. So instead of buying that expensive camera that costs, I don't know, $1,000 or a little under that, or maybe a little over that, but this is an adapter that you can put on your telescope and you can use with your phone, which is pretty cool. I have a Samsung, don't judge me, I have a Samsung Galaxy Note 9, and it's pretty cool that I can take astronomy pictures with this particular phone, but it can also work with any other phone, like iPhones, iPhones, other phones that you can use. It's a pretty good and pretty cool idea instead of buying a camera. Now, I do not have this, but it's better than just grabbing your phone and putting it towards the telescope, because that's what I did, and it's a pain in my ass. Now, this one is not really an object that you can buy off Amazon. This is more of an object that you can buy or get off the App Store or your Google Plays. This one is called Stellarium, or Sky Tonight, or Sky View Free. Now, these apps just generally help you figure out where different objects are. You put in your location, and it'll help you figure out where the stuff is in the night sky. If you want to know where Jupiter is, I mean, it's not the hardest thing to find, but if you want to know where Jupiter is, it'll tell you where Jupiter is, or galaxies, or other stars, or the ISS, where the Hubble is. And I think that's pretty cool. Again, not really an object, not really on a budget thing. You can have the most expensive telescope and you can use this app. It's really cool. Accuracy is okay, but you should, generally figure out where a certain object is. So, but it's still pretty cool nonetheless. This next one is another telescope. This one is the Orion Star Blast 2. Now, this particular telescope is a lot huger than the other telescope, the other Orion one that I already forgot what it's called. But this telescope has a 4.5 equal rider. It's big telescope. It's only $200. Now, yeah, it's $200, but at least you're not spending $1,000 on it. It's a pretty decently sized telescope. I am going to buy this eventually in the future, so hopefully that'll be pretty cool. And it has claims that you can use your phone. It comes with a phone adapter that you can put on the telescope and do some other cool shenanigans with it. People have captured pictures of planets and galaxies with this thing. It's pretty cool. I'm looking at the pictures of it right now, but I think it's I don't know if this is like, if you want something that's, if you really want to see planets or you really want to see stars instantly, this is a really good telescope, in my opinion. If it's actually good, I will buy it one day. It's got a lot of good reviews. This one is another telescope. Wowzers! It's not an Orion telescope. It is a Celestron telescope, the Astromaster 70 AZ telescope. This telescope is quite thin. Now there are a lot of different options with different reflectors, and it's really cool. This telescope is really cheap, but not only it's cheap, but it's also very good. So that's going to do for today's video of top 5 beginner astronomy like stuff for astrophotography. I know this isn't really a video that's recommended. This is more of maybe this should be my first video. I don't know. This was just random. I didn't seem very well prepared while making this. I didn't have a script to go with it. This is my first video, so yeah, I don't know what to say other than thank you. If you like it, subscribe, hit the like button. If you hated it, you can dislike it, or don't ever watch it again. I'm just here to educate. By that I mean I'm not a professional teacher. I'm just an amateur astronomer who lives in a small town in the America. So yeah, that's gonna do it. I'm gonna stop recording because it's 10 o'clock at night and I'm suffering. Please make